Assalamu alaikum dear students. In our previous lecture, we discussed the educational policy of British government, and today we are going to discuss some of the social and economic policies and communication networks. So let's start with the social policy. Lord Canning was the first person who took notice of the exploitation of the peasants or the poor peasant at the hands of the landlords. Peasants किसान को बोलते हैं, and those peasants who work under the control of the landowners, they had a very miserable life. So an act for the peasant in 1859, it was approved, and the peasants were given protection to some extent. Then high courts were established in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras for speedy justice. Universities were established also in these three cities for the educational purposes. And then the Act of 1861, Indians were given the right to represent themselves in the legislative council. कानून साज इदारों में उनको नुमाइंदगी दी गई इंडियंस को in 1861. And then the Lord Lytton, he was the first person who paved the way for the government jobs for the Indians. Okay, because in my previous lecture I told you that those people who were giving they were having the supremacy because those who knew English and sciences, and they were given the opportunities to get the government jobs. So what happened that Lord Lytton was the first person that yes, he gave the opportunity to the local Indians to get the government jobs. And then the role of Lord Ripon. What happened that Lord Ripon introduced the local government system to give power to the local people, okay, and to decentralize the power. And what happened that he gave power for the construction work, promotion of education and health. And then legislation was made to reduce the gap between the British and the Indians. They wanted to reduce the gap between the British and the Indians. And then what happened in 1881, Factory Act was approved. Okay, so according to this act, the working time for children was specified that they will work for the work of the children in the factories was limited to 9 hours. And also they wanted them to work in a very safer atmosphere because the machines are there in the factories, you know it very well. So caretakers were appointed to implement these laws, and later on they also specified the working time for women in the factories too. A holiday was given in the week to them. It was approved in the Factory Act. And then an archaeology department was established to preserve the culture and heritage. Railway lines and roads were constructed due to which the life standard improved of the people. And then actually the British tried to, though they were working in different areas, they had their social policy, their economic policy. Now I will discuss this economic policy with you too. But though apart from these good steps, in fact the British tried to deprive the Indians, to keep them deprived. How? They were given less chances or no chances to get high positions in the government jobs. Islamic laws the Islamic laws were discouraged in the courts, and those Western type of landlords who were having the mentality of the Western kind of mentality, so they were given a free hand. And of course the Christian missionaries, we discussed their role in my previous lecture. Yes, the Christian missionaries, they wanted to preach Christianity, and of course the invasion of the British culture, it worsened the situation at that time. Okay, now what was the reaction then? Okay, one thing is over, that the low caste Hindus, they embraced Christianity. As you know, that Hindu society is based on class system. They are divided into four main class: Brahmins, Kshatris, Vaishya and Shudra. So the low caste Hindus, or at that time they were also called untouchables, so they embraced Christianity, so that they wanted their rights should be safeguarded. In fact, they had no rights in their own society. So what happened? Now the reaction was that the different revivalist movements started. Okay? Revivalist movement started. They wanted to revival the old time, the Hindus and the Muslims. And what happened, that English language, it was declared the official language of the country, and so it had a great damage to Urdu, Hindi and Persian, and these were all the consequences of their social policies. So now let's discuss what were their economic policies, what kind of changes they want to bring in the economic sector. Okay, experts were called from England. They wanted to get their help to improve the situation, the economic situation of India. So with the help of their consultation, a tax system was introduced in India. Lord Mayo, he increased the tax, and the division of income was declared between the center and the provinces. He gave special aid for the provinces, and Lord Mayo also established agriculture department. As you know, that this area, this subcontinent, they mostly dependent on the agriculture. So he worked in this sector, this agriculture sector. Lord Lytton had introduced the free trade policy. Now the free trade policy, it was adopted in Lord Lytton's period, and several taxes on imports were reduced or finished. Okay, then the time of Lord Ripon, he introduced this foreign trade. Okay, he also introduced foreign trade. He stopped taxes. He reduced the tax on salt, and local financial powers were delegated to the local governments. Now, in the time of the Lord Curzon rule, what happened, that he gave special attention to the peasants' problem. किसानों के मसाइल पे उन्होंने ज़्यादा तवज्जो दी. How? Inspector Generals were elected for the agriculture. He wanted to solve the problem between the landowners and the peasants, and in fact specific arrangements were made to run agriculture on the scientific basis. They wanted to introduce the new tools, new scientific methods in the agriculture. Okay. Irrigation system was also improved, and trade and industries were established. Now, this free trade policy, in fact, it damaged the local industry. Actually, these policies by the British people, In fact, they had their own benefits. Rather than giving benefits to the local people. These policies were meaningless for the peasants and the farmers. Though industrial development, we observed industrial development in that era too, but the British officers, they exploited them. The Indians were not, they had very little opportunity to participate in the political system, but the main power still remained in the hands of the British, the financial power especially. Then the railway lines and roads, they also, the British people got benefit from it rather than the general people, the general Indian local people. And now something about the communication system of the British Crown. They introduced modern communication in the subcontinent. Though they introduced this modern communication to give benefits to the local people, but in fact they had their own benefits from these modern communication. Okay, even during the company time, activities about reforms were continued. Lord Dalhousie, he established a public works department in 1854, Grand Trunk Road or GT Road. It was reappeared in his time, and the Ganga Canal was completed. The first railway lines were laid during the Dalhousie period. And then in 1853, electric telegraph system was introduced. Later on, postal services were also introduced in the subcontinent. In the end of the 18th century. Okay, and the external trade was also flourished. These railway lines and roads, it gave opportunity to increase the communication, and and other sources made progress. What were the advantages of the communication system? This communication system affected the economic, social and political life of the people. Foreign investments were increased due to this communication. The military and administration benefits were also very much clear. The electric telegraph gave an opportunity to the British people to have success in the War of Independence, because they frequently communicated with each other. Railway lines and roads gave them opportunity to get raw material from different places for the factories, and they developed the ports, and the local people also got the opportunities to get jobs, and the trade was developed. After independence, these projects were further developed after the independence.